You're listening to WCAT Radio, your home for authentic Catholic programming.
Hello, my name is Dr. Sebastian Mahfood, and I would like to welcome you to WCAT Radio. In this episode of I Thought You'd Like to Know, Dr. Cynthia Toolin-Wilson interviews Luiza Tojiboeva from Tashkent, Uzbekistan, concerning her weight loss program, the community that she's formed, and domestic violence. We hope you enjoy the program.
Hi, Luiza. I understand that weight was an issue for you at some point.
Yes. I was overweight since my 4 years old. After 4 years old, I began to have overweight. Even among my classmates, among my friends, I always was big. Over 30 years, I tried to fight with extra kilos. It was different trainings, it was a diets, or I tried to border myself to eat anything. Sometimes I didn't eat several days. But it wasn't any result that can be sustainable. It was for a short period of time. But, 4 years ago, I began to work with my mindset, with my habits, with my way of thinking. And I realized that I should be responsible for my life. I should be responsible for my body and for my physical and psychological mindset. After this, I began to work with changing my behaviors. And I think that the losing weight and the metabolic operation was a result of my changing behavior, because I began to change my mindset. I understand that the overweight, it's not the reason. This is a result. Because the main point of that, the reason was I had my traumas, I had difficulties. That was the reason. Because when my father died, when I was 5, it was a time when I began to have the extra kilos. And when I began to change my behavior, some habits, I decided to have operation, and 2 years ago, in 2021, I did a metabolic operation. After this, I began to lose the weight. I was 168 kilo, the peak my weight. Now I'm 62 kilos. I lost 106 kilos.
Wow, that's a lot of weight to lose. I mean, good for you. Congratulations.
Yeah, in 1 year, I lost 87 kilos. And now after operation, it's a 1 year and 1 year and a half. Now it's overall 106 kilos minus.
Wow, that's excellent. Yeah, I've had weight problems and been on diets for most of my life to maintain my weight. I'm still a little heavy. I'm trying to think. I was 158 pounds this morning, and I should be like 140. But, I think that's such a struggle for women, much more so than for men, so because we're also valued by how we look as opposed to what we know. Even if we're really smart, it doesn't matter. I don't understand this. Yeah, but you're really to be congratulated. That's a lot of weight to lose, and to maintain it being off. That's really good.
Thank you. I remember that before operation, my doctor said, he asked what kilo you want to be. I said, I want to lose 100 kilos. He laughed at me and he said, it's impossible. Operation helped to lose only half of your extra kilos. I said, I can't do that. Because that time was not only the losing the weight was main point for me. Main purpose was to change myself, transform my habit. And I knew that if I will change my habit, I will begin to lose the weight. And when it was 1 year, and I said to my doctor, I lost 87 kilos. He was surprised. He didn't believe on that. And yesterday, when I contacted with him, he asked me, what about your kilos now? I said, overall, minus 106. And he said, it's amazing. Because after operation, my point was losing weight not so fast, possibly losing it in 1 year by changing my eating habits. In 1 year, I integrated in my life 58 new habits that belongs to my personality and also eating habits. I think it played the main role in the process of losing these weights.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah, I think that's true. You know, when you think about our personalities, it's like, you know, you do need to change some of the things you do if you're going to lose weight other than just diet, you know. Changing how you eat. You know, I had cancer 4 years ago, throat cancer, and the doctor said that from now on in, for breakfast, I should have a protein drink that we sell in this country. And I have faithfully had that, except for maybe 3 or 4 times when I went out for breakfast with other people. And the difference in how you feel when you're getting enough protein, and, you know, it's like all of a sudden weight starts to go because you're eating better. But it's interesting how, you know, our personalities have such an impact on weight. It's like you think be what you're eating, but what you're eating is caused by your personality. You know, the problem. You know, so, but it's interesting, and it's much more. You know, we're in this country, where you're from, what it's like where you're from, but I mean, the majority of us are big. You know, when we're young, we're thinner. But as we get older, we pack on weight and we never lose it. And a lot of that is because we have what we call junk food here. Potato chips, popcorn, cookies, cake, pie, you know, and it just piles on and you can't get rid of it, you know. So it's like a habit or something. So you have to break the habit. Not easy. Not easy at all.
You know, at the beginning of the process, when I began to lose the weight, I paid attention that the people with overweight, they think like overweight people. They afraid of eating. They afraid of having some products to intake. They afraid that in the future they again will have this overweight. And I said, no, I don't want to have such mindset. I don't want to be afraid of eating anything or eating some products. And then I began to observe slim people. I remember that the first months, when I, for example, went outside or in the street, if I see, for example, the slim person, I stop them and ask, how do you eat meal? What do you eat that you're slim? How do you think? It was interesting to me to know about the mindset of slim people. And all of their common information was that they eat everything that they want. Not that must be or not for the with someone or that someone cooked. No, they eat only the thing that they want and in a portion that they want. For example, they don't eat 1 plate of the potato. They eat, for example, 2 spoons or 2 forks of the potato, and that's enough. If they want to have the rolls, they go and eat rolls or sushi or some kind of product. But everything that they choose, it's the meal that they want really eat, they want to really eat. And I said, oh, that's a great. And I began to do that. Even my family, for example, my mother, my ex-husband, for example, cooked 1 meal, but I don't want to eat. I just cooked myself that I want. or order that meal. And it really works because our organism is so smart, and our stomach understands what we should have, or what kind of product we are necessary to eat for benefit of our condition. And I think the full 5 months when I practiced that, I really saw the result. I could eat anything, but it needed to be the things that I really want. And after this, my preference even in meal products really changed. Now I don't eat, for example, junk food. I can't eat because my stomach wants to eat the fresh meal, soup, or not potato, vegetables. And I began to try new products because in the past, my habit was eating only pasta, bread, butter, or junk foods. But then I decided possible I should try to new products. And every week I tasted, still tasting now, new product, new vegetable or new fruit or new sweets, chocolates, but everything should be new. And it helped me change my behavior, like accept the new things like the normal, because in the past it was tough for me. And second, I realized myself that the products are very delicious and they can be healthy too.
Mm-hmm. That's good. So it's also portion control, though, right? You're eating until you're full, as opposed to eating every plate. So, yeah, see, that's the portion control is a big part too that I have a problem with.
Yes.
It is good. I'm going to eat all of it. But yeah, so I like the idea of the variety though, because I think that that's probably very healthy. Trying new foods, yeah. So that's a.
And still now, the one of my habits was I bring the meal that I want to eat. For example, the standard meal, it's a 1 plate of product. And at the beginning, I divided this product. I divide into the halves, and I ate the first half. And I said to myself that second half I will eat after 30 minutes. And you know that 99% of cases, I never back to this second half. My brain accepted that I took the part that was necessary to my body, and that was enough. And now, after over the 1 year, I just put the half part of the plate with the meal. I fill the plate with a half and eat this portion. I think that I just adapted to this portion.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Now, did you do some exercise too to gain? Yeah, that's what I was.
One of the things that I integrated in my life, it's a love to sport, especially to gymnastics, because in the past I hated sport. I hated physical activity because full of my childish and teenager period was the fighting with overweight and doing the sport. It was gym. It was hard exercise. Yeah. But when I got married, I stopped doing that. When after operation, I said I will back to sport, but this sport will be only that I love. I chose the treadmill activities. I chose the walking. 3 times in a week, I went to the the gym, and I use the treadmill and going about 1 hour, 3 times in a week. And then I stopped going to gym after 3 months, and I began to walk outside of the apartment. And then I decided that I like gymnastics. And every day, the last 1 year, every day, 20 minutes, I do the gymnastics. This is a part of my life that I really like, and that helps me to be more energy. And also, I think that this is the part that helped me to help my body to lose the weight faster and have a good form and conditions.
Mm-hmm. I believe it. Yeah, I've tried gymnastics. I have no balance, It would not be pretty. But I do like treadmill. I've enjoyed that. Of course, I don't know what the weather is like where you live. Here, I live in Vermont, which is northeast part of the United States, and it's cold here. So if you wanted to go for a walk in the winter, you've got to have boots up to your knees. And I'm serious. It snows and it snows and it snows. And so, in the summer, I would go for a walk in the cemetery, because it's paved and, it's private. And so I'd walk, not fast, but I'd walk. But in the winter, say by the end of October through, we just lost snow about 2 weeks ago. So from October even we can get snow, but say the end of October to probably the middle of April, you'd have to walk on ice and snow. So I thought a treadmill is the only way I'm going to walk, unless I walk back and forth in the house, which is a little weird. So are you where it's cold, or
Uzbekistan, I think, is popular with hot weather. We have the winter period when even the winter it's not so cold, but this year was exception. We had so freeze weather, and one of the reasons why I prefer the gymnastic, because since September, October, when the weather became the cold, I stopped going to walking because it was really cold. At the time when I began to lose my weight, I began to have a cold, and I said, no, it's better to have a gymnastic every day, 20 minutes, but not to go outside for cold weather, because this year was really cold. But from spring, summer, autumn, we have very nice weather, especially in summer. It's over 50 degree, 50, 60 degree hot weather. In spring and autumn, it's mostly about the 30, 35 degrees. That's why I think it's a comfortable weather for me and for the people who live here.
Yeah. So, it sounds like you've got a really good plan there between the eating. You've actually given me some hints. Maybe in 6 months we should talk again and I'll look better.
Of course, if you will allow, we can keep in touch and using possibly some experiences. Because, as I said earlier, the 4 years I spent not only for changing my behavior, I fully concentrated on the eating behavior and psychological aspects of overweight, and the simple, for example, now when I eat, I can eat everything, the bread and even the burgers. But I have one of the habits that I have 20-second pauses between each spoon. I eat one spoon of meal and 20 seconds of wait. Eat the second spoon, 20 seconds of wait. That was difficult at the beginning. Every habit at the beginning is difficult. But after several weeks, on the third week, if it's not mistaken, I paid attention that I began to eat less. Because my brain accepts the meal like it took the fuel and it's enough to that. That's why eating the half portion became, to me, easier. That's why, yes, possibly after half year, if you will integrate these two things, even simply, possibly would be helpful.
Yeah, I'm going to try that. I think I've heard before that if you eat slowly, I'd never heard of pausing like that, but if you eat slowly, you actually end up eating less because you get full. So waiting that 20 seconds, that's probably kind of resetting your hunger. Yeah, I'll try that too. I'm going to look great. So, those are all really a lot of good tips.
If you allow me, I want to share my experience with my community too that I organized.
Okay, that's good.
I remember that my operation was in 2021, 20th December. after operation, after 1 week, I began to think and plan my life for 1 year. And as I was a member of the one group, the group of my doctor who did this operation, I communicated with the people who had the operation to ask what kind of feeling they had, what kind of pills or vitamins they accepted into. And I paid attention that most of them, they're housewives or the people with difficulties that they couldn't solve. That's why they ate a lot. And then I had an idea why possibly I should create community for women, because in that group was man and women, but as I'm a woman myself, I can understand psychological situation of myself and physiology of my body. And I can understand the man's structure of the psychology or the body. That's why I decided to create the community for women, the community of development of women after metabolic operation. The purpose of this community was change mindset of women from overweight women to slim women mindset. And the second purpose was most of them had the similar problem as me. They had the result of overweight, not the reason. I wanted to help them to change the reason, to change their reaction to the problem that there was the main aim of having this overweight. And then I organized this community, and in that group I wrote invitation if the women who, for example, who didn't have education, possibly skills or information about the losing overweight and the changing mindset, they can join to my community. And the time 6 women joined it. It was 10th January 2022, and we decided to meet in 14th January. The first our gathering was 14th January, and we talked about what we want to have in this 1 year, how this community will help on and how we can help each other. I said that I'm a teacher, that I can help with English to their children, possibly to them. And I said that I had experience changing habits. I began to give the exercises. And we decided that the women who didn't have education, higher education, or, for example, secondary education, that they can go to study. Some of them had, for example, dream of traveling. Some of them had a dream of working. Some of them have a dream of being educated. And we put these goals, and we began to help each other to collaborate and find the ways. And now after 1 year, my community is 18 women, but 6 of us have their own community in one sphere. For example, my community is fully development of women after metabolic operation. It means if we have any talent, we develop it. One of us, she became, after having the progression in the community, she studied for nutrition classes, and she became a dietitian. Now she has own community where she teach people to have a right manners and right behavior of eating. And one of us really began to travel. She's a traveler, and every month she's going somewhere to see the world. And one of our member opened her community where she teaches to cook the healthy meal. One of us began to support the students who study at the university from poor families, because she has a good financial conditions, and she began to donate her money to students from poor families to study. And she has poor community in supporting students. That's why my community fully adapted to women who want to develop themselves, and they organize own communities where they can be helpful.
Wow. You're a mover and a shaker. You know that expression, but it's a compliment in this country to be a mover and a shaker. You are.
For the next year, the two aspects I want to add to my the community is last year I entered to master degree to graduate program of Webster University. Now I'm a little bit busy with my study, and once in a month we meet with members of our community, and we decide some our plans, and we decide how we can develop each other. But last one time I couldn't participate as I had a deadline of my study, but I set a goal to add two branch to my community. The first branch is the main branch is the development of women. Develop their mindset, develop their behavior, develop their talents that possibly they didn't pay attention. And another two that I want to integrate, the first, it's financial support to women, overweight women from poor families. As a metabolic operation is not cheap. In our country, it's more than $3,000, depending on where to do. It's $3,000 up to $6,000, and sometimes women can't find this money. That's why they don't do this operation. That's why one of my aim this 1 year to open the branch where I can support financially, because I have many relations with my friends, with my colleagues, with my students who financially rich people, and they are ready to help women to pay their operation. I want to integrate it. And the second, I want to have the one branch where we can help not only, for example, the women after operation. I want to have the community where we can help to develop women after home violence, because in Uzbekistan, unfortunately, we have so many women who had the violence in their family, possibly from their childhood, someone after marriage, and there are many divorces in our country. That's why I want to have a community where we can support such women too, to develop themselves, who can help themselves to continue their life, working, studying, or possibly to recover themselves psychologically, because violence, its impact on women differently. If the woman is strong, possibly she can eliminate it herself. But in our mentality, we have a balance when the man is dominant, man is priority. Women should be under control, because we are Eastern country where the mentality that women should be calm, man should speak. That's why the violence is the more big problem, I think. That's why my second goal to develop and help such women.
That's pretty common here too. So I don't. I imagine myself, I'm Catholic, and we believe in original sin. And I think that one of the effects of original sin is this disjoint between the sexes. I mean, I'm not going to say there's never a woman who abuses her husband, but I'd say 99.99% time men who abuse him. And once they start, they don't stop. And so I think just part of the human condition that we're trying to fix. I mean, not against the law, to beat up, or hurt your wife, or a girlfriend, but it's so common. I don't I almost, I think almost every woman in this country, maybe not everyone, but most can point to someone who hurt physically and usually psychologically.
Mm-hmm.
So it's everywhere, and it's depressing, because I'm 73, and I've known this since I was like 13, 14 years old. And so 6 years I've seen this occur to people, and usually it elevates a lot of these men up killing women. It's horrible.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Because my overweight was with the two reasons. The first, it's I think that I couldn't solve my emotional problems ecologically. I could, when I had a problem, I always ate. I ate sweets. I ate the so many meals. And one of the habit that I changed in myself, being bravery.
Yeah.
Being bravery in front of everything. Is it the people, or is it the situation? Is it the difficulty? It doesn't matter. I said that I will eliminate any fearness because I didn't want to back to meal. I didn't want to back to food because metabolic operation, it's a one-off tool in losing the weight, but it's not the solution. My doctor said that if people will not change their behavior in 5 years, the weight, the lost weight again back to this person. I said, no, not in my case. I don't want to back again to this operation, because operation, it's not easy. The recovering process is not easy too. I said, no, I will change. I will do everything to solve the problem of my behavior, not to back to the meal when I had a difficulty. And that's why possibly I lost many people from my life who were the reason of my possibly some difficulties, or who could give the pain to myself. Yes, it's not always good to lose the people from life, but if it's a benefit, I'm ready to lose them. It's better than just the damaging and the losing myself.
Yeah, I agree. And, we have many of the same of issues here. I mean, when you eat, you feel good. It's comfort. We actually call it comfort food. And that isn't going to solve a problem. That's actually, it adds another problem, so the root issue has to be taken care of. The issue when I was young, because I wanted an education, and I came from what in this country is called the underclass, the people that really don't count, and coming from that, I wanted an education. And it was like the reaction of the man in my life at that point was, well, who do you think you are that you deserve an education? Eventually, I got rid of him. Walked away, and and ended up to be a doctor. Not until I'm a theology professor, but it's, you look at that, and it's, men try to control it, and if we allow them to, we end up doing something stupid that hurts ourselves, like eating all the time. Or there's the other extreme of people that, that really try to exercise constantly to get rid of stress and end up anorexic. So they don't eat enough. So, a lot of psychological issues, and we go to food, and that's why so many of us are big. But,
I agree.
Yeah. But, I wish it was a message that people could could get in this country, because here everybody diets. They don't change their eating habits. They don't take care of the underlying issue. They buy diet food and then they're hungry. And because the food doesn't give them enough, so they go eat something else. It's just a horrible circle that it's like people on the mice when they're on that little run thing. That's how I think it's probably everywhere, not just in your country or mine. Just an unfortunate part of living at this point in time.
Yeah. And as you said, we have situation underlying the reasons of the problem. You will be surprised to listen my the reason of beginning the getting this the weight. My second profession, I'm a hypnotherapist. When I began to study hypnotherapy, I began to use it in myself, because I studied in my disappear. At first I got 4 sessions on myself. And when I realized that my overweight began, when my father died, I lost my supporter, because we were very close. I'm the first child in a family, and I was loved by him. And when he died, it was like I lost my supporter. And I began to behave myself so bad. I was rude. I was behaved bad. And I didn't listen anyone. I didn't do some good action. That time my mother began to beat me, and she thought that with this way she can nurture. And it was when I was 5 years old, and to keep myself, to keep my body not to have so pain, my body began to have overweight. My overweight was like cover myself, like close to myself, keep my body out of this pain. And when I understood it, and when I understand that now no one can beat me, no one can touch me, I am safety, I can protect myself, the losing weight began to be faster. And the second reason of this overweight, again, I think that not good relation with my husband too, because he was a little bit abused person, and also he was a little bit how we can say, we had the difficulties in relation, but I always kept calm. Because in Uzbekistan, being the worst, it's like not acceptance by the society. And even I was nurtured as the family. It's valuable. I should accept it. And if my husband beat me, it's not bad. I should accept it. And that's why my peak weight was 168. I wanted to protect myself with helping of this overweight. But when I understood it, I began to lose weight also, even before operation, because I went to operation when I was 155. I lost 13 kilos only in working and changing my behaviors without any diets. And after operation, after 8 months, I decided to divorce with my husband, because I understood that I can't live with the person who doesn't respect my body, who doesn't respect my life, and who can't protect me as a woman. That's why these 2 things was the reason of my overweight, I think. But everything depends on responsibility to us. I couldn't leave him in the past, because I was afraid of being hungry, or I can't feed myself. But when I understand not the meal can estimate my life estimation, I said I can work myself, I can earn, and I will not be hungry. That's why I decided to stop my relation with my husband and divorce.
Good for you. Good for you. There's abusive. I think abusive marriage is very rare that it stops. Entirely stops. And I think you always have to have fear that it's going to happen again. And so, I think that, sometimes divorce is necessary to protect yourself, to protect children. It's just unfortunate.
Yeah.
You can try to work it out, and sometimes that does happen, but not always.
Yeah.
Yeah. In this country, it's, I don't have the statistics, but I know a lot of times when women leave, abusive, that the men hunt them down and kill them. I don't know how common it is, but it does occur. And it's, so I don't understand. When I look at that, how many women abuse husbands? I'm sure there are some, but really, how many are there? There's really something. There's something really wrong in this situation that I think many societies support about the superiority of men. They're not. Sad situation. A lot of girls here, I think, don't marry now because they don't want to get into that kind of situation, or you never know. Someone can be nice as you could want, and you marry them, turn out not that at all. They hide it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Even my family didn't know what happened in my family. For example, my mother, I didn't tell her the 90% of cases that was in my family. And when I said that I want to divorce, they don't support me.
Mm-hmm.
And they think that my husband is good man. Yeah, he's good man. He is helpful to my family, to my mother, to my grandmother, to my relatives. Yes, they have a good relation, but they didn't know what's happened in my family inside, because I didn't say it. I couldn't say. I always thought the problem me. I thought that everything depended on me, that I'm so bad wife, that's why I had so many troubles. I'm so bad woman, that's why I have so troubles, and I'm overweight, that's why my husband relate with me with these ways. So many borders, so many limitations I created for myself. That's why I always blame myself. Mm-hmm. And when I said to my family, I want to divorce, they didn't understand. They said, why? Your husband is a good man. Yeah, I said, yes, but I don't want to continue this relation. I want to care about myself. I want to care about my health, because pandemic and the coronavirus showed that overweight people died often than the slim, because their health condition was not so easy as the slim people or healthy people. That's why I said no. I will die one day when it will be taken by God, but not from people. That's why this decision I didn't discuss with someone, but I know myself that 95% of the situation that happened in my family, I just didn't say. And many women and the girls, as you said, they just keep calm, and they say it's a family, this is a nurturing, this is a mentality, this is a society, especially in Uzbekistan. And that we should be patient, be tolerant, and wait when something will be good in the future.
My answer, we hear that here too. And my answer to that is, why is the man the one who's patient, willing to have, give grace to his wife? And if that isn't there, not all of a sudden going to bloom. It's not going to come out of nowhere. It's really just a horrible situation because there's so many people that are abused. And, what you're talking about is very similar to here. And I'm assuming it's like that everywhere all over the world. Everybody blames themselves. It's like, it was like, well, why do I want an education? Do I really think I'm that special? Once that thought's put in your mind, it's like, should you get an education, or maybe you should just, not. Fortunately, I chose to go get it, but it's a sad situation world over.
Yeah, that's why, as I'm also a teacher, my main profession, I'm a teacher. I taught my students to three things. The first being responsible to their house, being responsible to their decision, being responsible to their life, even not allowed to blame someone and own self, but do actions. Actions solve any problem. I taught them not only to English, but also to some instruments, psychological instruments, how they can eliminate their anxiety or their fearness, and how to be responsible to their decision. And the second thing that I taught them is to have a critical thinking. I say to them, put in depth everything that you listen from someone. Because I always listen from my family, from my second family, that I'm not a good person. I can't accept critics or criticism, or I'm so weak person. I listen it, and I thought that I'm a weak person. I can't solve anything. I can't accept criticism, and I always complain and blame myself. But when I said, no, I don't believe on that. I'm the person who am I. I'm the bravery person. I'm smart person. I can accept the criticism if it's a constructive criticism, but not destructive. And that's why I teach my students, I say that be critical to everything. If someone says it, think, are you sure that this person is right? Are you sure that this information objective? Are you sure that you have the similar values this person? If all of the answers will be yes, you can accept this information. If not, please find objective facts and evidences. And the third thing, I always teach them to think outside the box. I say always find a way that should be easy. And not the difficulty can teach us to be generous. We should try to find easy ways. And the thinking outside of the box, thinking creativity will help us. And, I'm proud of my students, and they're really different from others, because even when they enter to the universities, the teachers from the universities ask them, are you still a student of Miss Luiza? We didn't meet with these professors or teachers, but they know that my system, that the education system in Uzbekistan, as I worked in a public sphere too, and also in private sector now, looking to my students, these teachers ask, are you student of Miss Luiza? Because only she taught the teenagers and the students to think more than they can, even if they don't. And they say, yes, we are students of Miss Luiza. And I think it's good.
That is good. That's something to be proud of for you. Yeah, that's great. So... Yeah, that's a good way of teaching children, not children, teaching students. Because I think that we often take criticism and assume it's correct. Think about it. Is it correct? What should you do? Look for some evidence. I like that. That's good. Yeah. So. Wow, so you have quite a life there. You've done a lot of things. You know,
Thank
you've
you.
really proved yourself. You know, it's something to be proud of.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hmm. Well, it's good to take control of your life. I mean, even within marriage, you have to control your own life, but so many don't, you know. You have, obviously, in a family marriage, it's a different way of controlling life, but you can't, you can't steamroll for you either, So that's good that it's good that you're teaching this to young.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So you ought to start you ought to support group by home over here in the United States. Really.
Yeah, thank you. You know, when I studied in the Lyceum, diplomacy Lyceum, we had the exchange program of the students. Students from our Lyceum went to USA, to America, to different states of America to study for 1 month, for 1 year. And every year, this exchange program held in our Lyceum, and we waited the student from United States too. And at that time, I had a dream to leave to study in USA, but I was very scared to visit or to travel in another country. I thought that if I will be there, possibly I lost or I will be hungry. I can't eat something, and so many interrupts was that time. But after losing my weight and accepting the bravery as a one part of myself, in 1 year I traveled 5 countries, and I hope and I believe that the United States will be one of the countries where I will visit, because it's my childish dream.
Hey, if you come to the United States, you come to Vermont and come and live with me for a while. Have a vacation. Really, I think you should. Have you considered writing all of these things down and making a book?
Mm-hmm. I want to have it. Yeah, I want.
Yeah, you should. And I bet Sebastian would publish it for you. So it would be good. It would be helpful to many people.
Yeah, it will be nice. Yeah, it's one of my dreams too, and one of my goal for close to 5 years.
Mm-hmm. Good. Go ahead and do it.
Thank you.
Yeah. You should come to the United States. You should see Vermont, but come in the summer or early fall. I want to bring boots and coats and hats and gloves. But yeah, our early fall, October is a beautiful month. But in the summer, it's much milder and comfortable. I mean, today we're in April, and I just wore a jean jacket when I went to church, and I should have worn my winter coat. Mm-hmm. It's really depressing, but I hope you will visit.
Yeah, I hope, inshallah, of course. Can you tell me in which state do you live? Because you said that it's a cold state.
Vermont, Vermont. So when you look at the map of the United States, we're on the east, and we abut Canada. So I can here to Canada in about 2.5 to 3 hours for driving.
Oh, it's very close.
Yeah. And that's why the Canadian air, one of my friends, I was complaining about it being so cold. And he said, that's because the Canadian weather does not stop at the border. And he was right. But yeah, so it's a beautiful state. In the fall, we have incredible fall colors. The leaves turns orange, purple, and yellow. It's all different shades. It's beautiful. The fall is definitely the prettiest, but once fall ends, got a good 6 to 7 months of winter. Yeah, because we're not only north, we have altitude. We're high. We're there's a lot of mountains. So But yeah, it's a nice place to live inside.
And possibly I will be happy to wait you in Uzbekistan too. I think if you will have a chance, Uzbekistan, the place to really visit. We have the one country consists from two parts. The Tashkent is a very modern city, and also we have historical cities like Bukhara, Khwarezm, Samarkand. That's very popular with interesting history, with interesting traditions. That's why I will be very happy to meet you here and to show that places to you. And what's a good side of Uzbekistan? The visiting our country any season, it's a good because it will be hot. The summer is very hot here, that the 60, 70 degree even sometimes. This is over than 50 degree during summer. But the spring, autumn, it's a really amazing period. And even our winter, we don't have snow. Only this year we had snow 1 week. The freezing weather, but other time it's a very good period to have a rest. Even the Russians who visit our country said, "Oh, it's even your winter. It's like our summertime." I said, "Possibly, yes."
Boy, yeah, that's nice. It's I'd love to go. So let's stay in touch.
Yeah, I will be very happy to have keep in touch with you and asking some advice because I also had cancer when I was 24 years old. 29 years old I was. It was 7 years ago. But thanks a lot that I recovered from that and I could stop it on time. That's why the communication to me with strong woman as you very important to me because I find from women like you the power to continue my way, to have even that elder period of living, to be socially, being in work, being in sports. I think it's very important.
Yeah, I agree. I've really enjoyed this interview.
Thank you. Thank you for your interesting experience that you shared with me. I really felt that I visited United States, and after your belief and support about the writing book and the visiting USA, I really again begin to believe my dreams. Because the writing book and also the visiting USA was my big dreams, and possibly somehow I lost the belief on it. But after talking with you, after this interview, I really again begin to believe them. Thank you for you.
Well, I support you in it. You should sure write a book. I think that would be very interesting, very good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you for your interview. Thank you for your experience that you shared. Thank you for your kindness and your patience that you had with me in this interview, because you're the one of the first person whom I was confident and calm in talking and sharing my childhood period of the situations and also the situations that was in my marriage period of time. Thank you for you.
Okay. Thank you. So you take care.
Thank you. Take yourself too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hello, God's beloved. I'm Annabelle Mosley, author, professor of theology, and host of Then Sings My Soul and Destination Sainthood on WCAT Radio. I invite you to listen in and find inspiration along this sacred journey we're traveling together to make our lives a masterpiece and, with God's grace, become saints. Join me, Annabelle Mosley, for Then Sings My Soul and Destination Sainthood on WCAT Radio. God bless you. Remember, you're never alone. God is always with you.
Thank you for listening to a production of WCAT Radio. Please join us in our mission of evangelization. And don't forget, love lifts up when knowledge takes flight.